You know that feeling, right? The perfect song comes on, and suddenly all that stress you were carrying just starts to melt away. Well, there's some really powerful and fascinating science behind that, so today we're going to break down exactly how music can become one of your best tools for finding a little bit of peace.
So let me just ask you straight up. When you're feeling totally overwhelmed, what's your go-to music? Is it some calming classical, maybe some gentle ambient sounds? Just take a second and think about what's on your personal stress relief playlist.
You got something in mind? Okay, hold on to that thought, because when scientists at Harvard actually dug into this question, the answer they found, well, it's probably not what you're thinking.
And that brings us right into our first section. So get ready for a little bit of a twist.
That's right, it's rap music. A Harvard study discovered that for a lot of people, the powerful rhythms and intense lyrics in rap were amazing at helping them channel strong emotions and seriously cut down on stress. Now, this points to something much bigger than just one genre. The most effective music for you is simply the music that you genuinely enjoy.
So wait a minute, how can something like rap and, say, a really quiet piano piece both get the job done? Well, it all comes down to what's happening inside your head. Let's get into the science of it all.
Here's the most important thing to get. Music isn't just some passive background noise. When you're listening, it is actively firing up some of the most powerful parts of your brain. We're talking the hubs for emotion and reward. It's like a direct line into your mind's operating system.
And this is where the chemistry gets really cool. When you listen to a song you love, your brain releases a flood of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical, the one tied to pleasure and reward. But at the exact same time, it actively starts lowering your levels of cortisol, which is the hormone that's directly linked to stress. It's this incredible one-two punch for your well-being.
Let's break that down a little more. So first, the music lights up your emotional centers, like the amygdala. It also gets that reward system going that we just talked about, which is what makes you feel happy. And, this is a big one, it can trigger powerful memories, acting like what scientists call emotional anchors, that can pull you out of a bad headspace and connect you to a really positive one.
Okay, so now that we know the why, let's get super practical with the how. I want you to start thinking about your music library as your own personal sonic pharmacy. You can actually write yourself different musical prescriptions for different mental states.
For just general-purpose relaxation, science points us to something called sedative music. The key things to know are right here. It's got a slow melody, a really regular rhythm, and it's predictable. There are no sudden surprises, which gives your brain and your body permission to just relax.
So, what does that prescription actually look like? Well, researchers have found that the sweet spot for tempo is right between 60 and 80 beats per minute. And that's no coincidence. It's about the same speed as a resting heart rate. You want a constant, steady rhythm. Genres like classical, ambient music, and even nature sounds are usually perfect for this. And hey, if you want a specific example, here's a great one. A bunch of studies have actually called this song, Weightless, by Marconi Union, one of the most relaxing pieces of music ever created. It was literally engineered using all of these scientific principles specifically to reduce anxiety. Pretty amazing.
But what if you don't want to relax? What if you need to lock in and concentrate? Well, there's a prescription for that too. Complex classical music can be great for stimulating the brain without being a distraction. And think about it, video game soundtracks are literally designed to keep you focused and engaged for hours at a time. Atmospheric sounds and nature sounds like rain also work wonders here.
And the benefits go even deeper, all the way down to how we sleep. Now, this chart looks a little complicated, but the main takeaway is fascinating. Researchers found a clear connection between a person's musical aptitude, like how deeply they engage with music, and the quality of their sleep. Basically, the more in tune you are with music, the better you're likely to sleep. It suggests that actively using your brain for music can help it restore itself at night.
You know, this whole idea of deeper engagement is really important. We can go way beyond just putting music on in the background. We can start using it as an active, intentional tool. And that, well, that takes us to the next level.
So what is that next level? It's combining music with mindfulness. What the research shows is that when you put these two together, you get a synergistic effect, which basically means the result is way more powerful than either one could be on its own. The music helps you focus on the present moment, which can make mindfulness feel easier and more effective.
This has actually turned into a whole new field called mindfulness-based music therapy, and it's built on these 4 core attitudes. Number 1, non-judging. Just notice your thoughts without labeling them. 2, beginner's mind. Try to hear the music like it's the very first time.
3. Suspending judgment. Just be open to the experience. And finally, 4. Acceptance. Embracing the moment just as it is.
So how do you put this all together for yourself? It's all about creating your own therapeutic playlists. Start by setting an intention. Ask yourself, what do I want to feel? Less stress? More energy? Then pick songs that really truly resonate with you on an emotional level. Pay attention to the rhythm and the tone. And finally, weave these playlists into your daily routine. Maybe you have one for your morning commute and another to help you wind down at night.
All of which leads us to the single most important point of this entire conversation. This quote from the American Music Therapy Association just says it all perfectly. The science can give us all these great guidelines about tempo and rhythm, but look, if you can't stand classical music, forcing yourself to listen to it is only going to stress you out more.
So, the ultimate takeaway is this. Use the science as a starting point, as a framework, but at the end of the day, your own emotional response, your personal experience, that is the ultimate guide to building your soundtrack for a peaceful mind.
So I'll end by asking you again, but with this new perspective. After everything we've just talked about, what's on your peaceful soundtrack? What music truly, deeply works for you? Because discovering that for yourself, that's what matters most.